Well, let's talk some ball. Thanks for coming on Beyond the Surface about a week ago, man. We all had a blast with that.
I had so much fun. I was firing off takes, and you guys were as well.
I mean, we a little football, hockey came up, baseball came up. It was a sports debate show adventure, is what it was. But we had a blast having you on, man. So, what shirt are you wearing here?
5-star, man. Vintage. 5-star basketball camp. You know what I mean?
I like that a lot.
Yeah,
I like that a lot.
And thanks for having me on your show. And when I was on your show, let me know when you need me back. I'm always available for you, Rick. When I was on your show, you were talking about the Spurs. And I have to ask you, why do you think the Spurs will win the 2026 NBA championship?
A few reasons. They have the best five in ball to me. When you put the four guards with Wemby, I'll take that five against anybody. We'll take y'all on. With Harper, on the court with Castle, with Fox, and with Vassell. And then, of course, Wemby, who's two bigs for the price of one. Hell, he's like three players for the price of one. I understand that I am predicting something that's never happened, something that probably will never happen, that the Spurs are going to go from a non-playoff team to winning the championship. Have stranger things happened? Not that many, but it's so wide open this year, Combo. And so I love what the Spurs got. They got depth beyond that. But OKC to me is super vulnerable because they haven't been together all year. Caruso's been out. Hartenstein's been out. Obviously, J-Dub's been out. SGA had his little, 10, 12 game period where he had that ab thing right around the All-Star break. And obviously they're still record-wise the best team in ball, but I don't know, man. A title defense is already really, really tough, and you need a lot of stuff to go your way. And they're winning, and their depth is incredible with AJ Mitchell and guys like that, and Jalen Williams, but I don't know. Combo, we may be talking 2-3 months from now, and I was so wrong about OKC to ever doubt them, but I'm kind of low-key doubting them right now. So I got the Spurs winning it over the Celtics.
So the Spurs beat OKC 3 times, and on top of that, Wemby wasn't even his full version. He's been playing better lately, and he won't be on a minutes restriction.
Correct, yeah. 4-1 overall against OKC, which it's one of those things, Combo, where we've seen it before. A team sweeps another team in the regular season. They play in the playoffs, and it's a reverse sweep of what we're like, what? How'd that happen? So we see that stuff where the regular season means absolutely nothing. But these are Titans. These are two of the great teams in our game. If we can't analyze what we see in a regular season game, and it's not like we're drawing strict conclusions from it, but you analyze it and you form opinions on it. And to not do that, what the hell are we here for? Do you know why are they playing the games? Do you know what I'm saying? So, but Wemby to me, Combo, is the biggest killer in the NBA. Ooh. I do not believe that anybody in the NBA wants to win as badly as Victor Wembanyama. I don't believe that anybody in the league is torn up about a loss as badly as Wemby is. I want Anthony Edwards to get more of that. Get serious. Get pissed off. Okay? Get mad. Get nasty. I love him, but he's a little bit too aloof for me. He's a little bit too, young and kind of bouncy and freewheeling. No, it's like Wemby, what is he, 22, 23? The guy's got the competitiveness of like a 35-year-old Udonis Haslem, and I love it.
With Wemby, if you're telling me he's the biggest killer in the NBA, he's definitely the most talented player in the NBA. I was thinking about this earlier. Like when I was younger, if I was creating an NBA player on Live or 2K, like this is the guy you would create. And he has things that you couldn't even imagine on top of that. So if you're telling me he's the biggest killer on top of being the most talented player I've ever seen, I mean, that's a dangerous combination for the league.
And I think the Wemby dynasty starts this year. And Combo, I think you probably see championships for him eventually. Oh, yeah. And if it's not this year, it'll be next year. And what we might have here, the most underrated rivalry in NBA history for me is Kobe's Lakers against Duncan's Spurs. It's not talked about enough. They played a bunch, both won 5 in that same little pocket of time. Great window for the NBA. And I could see San Antonio and OKC a little bit like the Lakers and Celtics in the 80s, your turn, my turn. Because I don't think OKC's done winning chips either. But, so I don't know if the Spurs win 3 in a row or anything like that. But they're 2 in the West, a legit championship contender right now. We've seen OKC kind of defy the experience thing. I think they won a championship well ahead of schedule based on combo what we know to be decade past, the experience you've got to have. Like, you couldn't beat Isaiah's Pistons or Jordan's Bulls or Bird's Celtics without being experienced in season. You couldn't be an upstart team and even compete with those guys, but it's different now.
Yeah, I would also say that, somebody on the show, shouts to Cortez, a friend of mine who was on the show, was telling me, the Spurs Wemby has not been through enough adversity. How Jordan was with the Pistons. But right. I would also look back to the Olympics, and Wemby was pretty upset with that. That might have been his adversity, that he's going to hone in and take in and destroy the rest of the league with that kind of motivation.
Let me ask you a question. Mm-hmm. When was Wemby more pissed off? When 2 All-Star games ago, Alpi Şengün missed the defensive assignment and Wemby's team lost, and Wemby was super pissed about that in the worst All-Star game of all time. And then, or how he felt when France lost to Night.
I'll tell you what he hated even more than all of that, Rick. Even more than all of that. When Chet won the 19U MVP.
And he still carries that grudge every time they play, right?
Yeah, he tries to destroy Chet.
He really
Chet's
does.
A great player. Chet should probably get more credit. We'd be looking at Chet like the unicorn if there was no Wemby. He'd probably get a lot more credit if there was no Wemby,
That's a good point, man. You know what I love about Chet? Just a quick point.
All good.
I will never, ever doubt a guy because of his frame again. You remember the talk about Chet. He's too, and I was part of it. All you got to do is attack the chest and cave in the big, and, but he's held up well. He's a champion and all this kind of stuff. Wemby came into the league. All these questions about body type, body size. Is he too skinny? Blah, 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 blah. You know what I'm saying? Like, those two guys have changed kind of how I evaluate players coming out. Like, yeah, you're super skinny. Okay, so what? What's your skill level? If your skill level is incredible, I want you on my team. The NBA is all about skill right now. And it's obviously, you want some muscle, but I'd rather have a guy be lean than a guy be super doughy like pre-exit Dallas Luka. Remember, you couldn't even see, bro, do you even have a bicep? Where is it? I can't see it.
Speaking of Luka, I feel like there's mental contagion with the hate around Luka. About 2 weeks ago, it was crazy. I was even getting into the comments like, why is just everybody copying each other's takes that Luka's falling off as a basketball player? Now I'm hearing nothing.
How could he be falling off as a basketball player? I mean, he's sucked on defense the whole time. So it's like,
right.
Okay, wash, rinse, repeat. He's the best offensive player in the NBA right now, to me. And, you mentioned talent with, I mean, I got to gauge Wemby. I got to give it to you, right? We've never seen a combination of skill set like this ever. I mean, the last game, 4 blocks, 2 steals, 5 threes. What the fuck, dude? You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
Like, and that's just a normal game for him. Like, that's like an all-timer for Brook Lopez, who is a very good 3-ball block shot guy, right? Mm-hmm. But I bet Brook Lopez doesn't have too many 4-2-5 games. I forget my point. I
no, all good.
The
biggest concern for me with the Spurs is not battling through past adversity. It's actually the shooting. Every time I do watch Julian Champagnie play, it feels like he shoots 70% from 3, but the stats are only saying 30. But sometimes when I watch them, they do lack a little bit of that gravitational pull around Wemby. Wemby's hitting more now, but I do feel like that's going to be a big X factor for them going into the playoffs, the shooting.
Well, I gave you the best 5 in ball, in my opinion, and I don't know if the analytics stack up to that. It probably doesn't. Harper's not a 3-baller. And Stephon Castle's hit and miss with the 3-ball. De'Aaron Fox is hit and miss with the 3-ball. Devin Vassell's pretty reliable. But but I don't know where that fits. To me, like, Castle and Harper just got to get a stroke. You know what I mean? They just got to develop that 3-ball because their size, their defensive ability, their IQs, their motor and competitiveness. I mean, the Spurs nailed both of those picks. I freaking love both of those players. And over time, hopefully they can get to 36, 37, 38%, maybe above, but they ain't there right now.
Harper, he feels like the guy that could explode in the playoffs because at times he doesn't get the opportunity, maybe like he would on a Hornets or the Mavs, like his contemporaries with Khan and Cooper. We'll get to the Rookie of the Year picks in a second, but I feel like in the playoffs, he's a guy that could change everything because he's just so talented. I think on another team, we'd be looking at him as a franchise guy, but he's just playing with Wemby at this point,
There's no question. He's a franchise changing guy. Like if he was on a bad team right now, he'd be cooking. He'd be 25 and 5,
100%.
Some fat stat line and all that kind of stuff. So, but again, the Wemby dynasty, it's not just him. I mean, I love Stephon Castle. I mean, I love that basketball player. He's just so about it, right? He's serious. He's rocked up. I mean, he's so athletic and strong. And Cason Wallace is a totally different player, but in one way, they've struck me both the same way. First time I ever watched Cason Wallace in an NBA game, I was like, damn. Like, he just acts like he's been here for 8 years. And I feel like that with Dylan Harper, like how he plays angles, how he attacks the rim and takes contact and finishes. It's like big boy stuff, like adult stuff. And Dylan Harper is just kind of messing around, and it's already like a matter of fact thing for him. So what a win for them to get the deuce in the draft. Are you kidding me? And I legitimately think that there's a debate between Harper, Edgecombe, Khan, and Flagg for the best player going forward and who you would pick. I think you could make a good case for all four of those guys. Tough to pass on Flagg, but it's tough to pass on Edgecombe. Yeah. If you don't love VJ Edgecombe, the basketball's not for you.
All right, let me ask you this. Who would you build your franchise around if you could only build around one of these players? Steph Castle, Dylan Harper, or Con Knipple?
Castle.
Why so?
I feel like we might have another like Kawhi Leonard type of guy in Castle. Ooh. Because he's got the big bod, two-way guy. The skill is gonna come. He's not Michael Kidd Gilchrist out there, with all of this. I mean, like the skill's gonna come. I'm sorry, MKG just caught it straight. But it's an incredibly tough call for me between Harper and Castle, not Khan. And I love Khan. Khan is a one-way player, and he's not a playmaker. He's a decent playmaker for a two guard, not terrible at it. But I don't think he'll ever be like a 25-5 guy. It's like more like a 25-3 guy, and that's cool because his percentages are going to be unbelievable. He's a guy that you can win with combo, but you got to have the right guys around him. You got to have wing defenders around Khan. Otherwise, other teams are just going to pigeon him and eat him up. And that's not going to happen with Harper and Castle. They're going to be able to carry their water on both ends of the floor. So that would be my breakdown there. Harper's shot has been a little disappointing. I got to be honest with you. Like I thought you'd come to the league with a little. I mean, what's his 3 percentage? It's pretty miserable. Last I saw, like kind of not even on the radar. So for that reason, I'll go Castle.
I like that. All right, who's the greatest center to ever live?
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, man. And I don't. Combo, something I've noticed doing a hit with you on your show and when you came over with us. You mentioned Stockton as one of your Mount Rushmore top 5 point guards. I wouldn't have him. He's in my top 10, certainly, but I wouldn't have him that high because of the lack of a championship. So what I've ascertained is I'm more of a resume guy. You're more of a ball guy because you were a player, big time player, 10 years overseas in your whole career. So I'm looking at it from the media perspective. You're looking at it from the ball player perspective, where it's less about how many rings, how many all-stars, 100%. How many points, how many rankings. It's about what you did and more the eye test than the stat test. And me and so many former ball player analysts me and Antonio Daniels on NBA radio, I called it the intersection of Ball Player Boulevard and Media Member Avenue or something like that. Like, we're just not going to see eye to eye. It's the player versus media thing. yeah, so that's my take on that. But those were good times with Antonio on NBA radio, man.
Yeah, I think throughout the course of your career, if you do play basketball, you're going to be a bench player, you're going to be a starter, and you're going to be a star. And my experience being a star was that if the supporting cast wasn't good enough, it did not matter how great I was. We were not going to be a championship team. So I think sometimes we place too much stock when it comes to individual rankings into team success.
Look, and again, I'm more sort of black and white about it. Like if I'm comparing, say, Karl Malone and Dirk Nowitzki, and then let's throw Kevin Garnett in there, right? How do you determine who's higher? Because I've got my top 10 rankings,
but that's a little different. I'll tell you why. Because Dirk's chip was one of the most defining chips ever. Because the supporting cast wasn't as good. So you're kind of speaking to what I'm saying a little bit,
Yep.
That's why I like Cade over SGA. But to me, SGA just has the better team. He actually improved this year, so that takes it getting a little outdated. SGA has gotten so much better even this year. But my thing is like Dirk's chip was so defining. I'm not mad at anybody using that one particularly. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So the point is, like, KG, Dirk, and Garnett are incredibly hard to determine who's 2, who's 3, who's 4. So how I do it, I just kind of numerize it. And it comes down to All-Stars, All-NBAs, MVP awards, other awards, championships, where you rank, right? In total points, total rebounds, total assists, total blocks, total steals. I'm a nerd that way. But it's if you're into it, it's a good way to evaluate overall resumes of these GOATs. And so I've got KG 2, I've got Dirk 3, and I've got Malone 4. And I do not have Charles Barkley, my friend, in my Mount Rushmore. Peter, how could you not have Barkley in there? Well, his counting numbers don't stack up to those other 3 guys, and he doesn't have a championship. Okay, Carl's up there because his counting numbers are incredible, but he doesn't have a championship. And also all the All-NBAs and all the All-Stars. I mean, it's just an unbelievable resume, but it's incomplete. So to me, that's the decider between Dirk, KG, and Karl and Charles take an L because they don't have a chip.
Who's greater, Jokic or Shaq?
Again, Jokic. I don't think it's debatable. Shaq, the dominance, the intimidation, bullying. And he bullied people the right way, right? Not this bullshit Draymond Green way where you're attacking Colin Gillespie and you're freaking choking out Gobert and stomping on Sabonis to a tune of a broken record. I mean, what are we doing here, bro? This is the sign of a washed player and the rope is slipping through his hand. I'm going down. I mean, stop it, dude. But yeah, no, Shaq did it the right way, right? Dunking on Dudley, nutmegging him, and then shoving him into the photographers. I mean, that's just good, clean fun. That's just Shaq being, nobody got hurt, okay? So anyway, but Jokic to me, we had Chris Marlowe on the podcast today. So to me, Nikola Jokic is the most skilled center ever. To me, Nikola Jokic has the best touch ever of any player. Right hand, left hand. I mean, when the guy's below the free throw line, he does not miss. He doesn't ever miss. Shaq's resume, though, right now is better than Jokic's. Well, hold on a second. Yeah, I got to give Shaq the nod. Shaq's got 4 chips and 1 MVP. To this day, he's still pissed about that. I want to see Shaq and Steve Nash in the same room together. And I want somebody like a producer or a runner or somebody to say, hey, Steve, remember that time you won that MVP over Shaq? And Shaq will explode. Dude, Shaq is still pissed about Nash. And obviously he's placing his blame on the wrong people, right? But it's Shaq and it's just kind of humorous, right? So, and maybe he's just feigning, this irritation with Steve Nash, but I've been around him and I've heard him go off about, I don't really think it's not disingenuous. I think it's really genuine. But he's like, how in the hell could Steve Nash and so all that kind of stuff? I mean, Nash was incredible in that period with Phoenix, but Combo, I can tell you, Shaq is still mad that Nash robbed one of his MVPs. He's still pissed about that.
So the answer is Jokic.
The answer is Jokic.
Yeah, that's interesting.
The answer is Jokic. I mean, who would I rather have on my team? Jokic. Who do I think is a better basketball player? Jokic.
Who has better touch though, Larry Bird or Jokic?
It's a great question.
Bird's underrated at this point. I don't care what people are putting.
Yeah, not to us, just because the younger generation, just because they didn't watch.
It was a little before my time, but I used to watch a lot of it, like going back. But people have Steph Curry over Larry Bird. Unacceptable. Unacceptable, Rick.
No, I have Curry over Bird.
Oh my God, you're crazy.
No, I'm not. What? He's got one more championship. His GOAT meter is higher than Larry Bird. When you combine championships, MVPs, and finals MVPs, he's the greatest shooter of all time, passing Bird as the previous greatest shooter of all time. And I don't love Larry Bird. I respect Larry Bird. I came up a Showtime Laker fan, so that was blasphemy what I just said right there. But I respect and admire Larry Bird, but I had to bounce Bird out of my top.
Oh, now it's coming. Okay, Showtime Laker fan. Now it's all coming together.
I'm not fanboy with my rankings, but I had trust me, this is very controversial on NBA radio and on Mad Dog Sports Radio. People are like, how could you boot Bird, right? How could you? The numbers say that I had to boot Bird. How do I do my rankings? I base it on numbers. I'm going with numbers. Curry versus Bird. I'm being consistent here. But people hated it. They also hate it when I tell them that Emmitt Smith is bar none the greatest running back in NFL history.
That's a great take.
Thank you. But everybody says Barry Sanders.
Well, tell me why you think it's Emmitt Smith, because I'm actually working on something for this. So tell me more. Why is Emmitt Smith the greatest running back ever?
Resume.
Yeah.
His resume blows Barry Sanders' resume out of the water. Championships, MVPs, total yards, total statistics. What I always say, because people get it twisted, or maybe they don't, it's their opinion. So I don't want to say that they're getting it twisted. I just disagree. But what I'd say, Barry Sanders is the most talented running back in the history of football. I'll give him that. He retired after 10 years, Combo.
And Dan Marino's the most talented quarterback in the history of football.
I got to go with one of the two-way guys. I don't know if I can. When you talk, if you just say right arm and shoulder, I think I can rock with you. But if you just say most talented, now I got to look at your legs too. And then I'm starting to think of a guy like a Randall Cunningham, just in terms of talent, or Patrick Mahomes in terms of talent. Because Patrick Mahomes is way more talented than Tom Brady, in my opinion. The ability to run, all the different arm slots he's got. Brady's not an arm slot guy, right? He's not Matt Stafford, Aaron Rodgers, Pat Mahomes, these magicians with the football, right? He's absolutely phenomenal. He's the GOAT of NFL players in any position. I mean, I give it all to Tom Brady, but obviously it's execution, it's precision, it's all that stuff, the mental acumen. But just when you talk about talent, I mean, Brady's very high on the list, but not as high. I think Matt Stafford is a more talented thrower of the football than Tom Brady. I don't know if you agree with me on that.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a few guys more talented than Tom Brady, but Tom Brady's the greatest winner at quarterback.
It's probably
position.
A little bit like the Bill Russell thing, right? There were like better overall centers, but damn,
like
the guy's got 11.
Wilt was more talented than Bill.
I agree.
Yeah. All right, let's shift to some NBA awards. All right, MVP. Who do you have, Rick? And it's early. It's a little early. We're not. How many?
No. This is fine. I mean, really, the only thing that would change this right now would be, God forbid, some kind of injury where guys fall below the threshold or whatever. But my top five right now, and Chris Marlowe was not a fan of my top five, and we were joking about it for where I have Jokic. But it's really hard this year. There are so many excellent MVP cases. So number one, I got Wemby. Number two, I've got SGA, and that is super, super, super close. Number three, I've got Cade. 4, I've got Brown. 5, I've got Jokic. Like I told Chris, I feel scummy about having Jokic at 5. I mean, I kind of dislike myself for that. But, like, Cade has the Pistons atop the East all year. Like, people just kind of act like that's a matter-of-fact thing. Like, I'm blown away by that. Jaylen Brown, what he's done with Boston has been absolutely phenomenal. Jokic did miss an entire month. All right, so, we got when you're nitpicking like this, I mean, you got to look at everything. I mean, he did miss a month. These other teams are higher in the standings than Denver. So, but, I mean, come on, dude. I ain't hating on Jokic. I mean, think about this combo. Luka's not even in my top 5.
Ridiculous.
He's at 6.
Well,
if somebody had Luka at 3 and Cade out of their top 5, I mean, I wouldn't be mad at him. But this is a great MVP race, man.
For personal reasons, I want to see Cade win the MVP because I was debating with Knicks fans who's better between Cade and Brunson for a while now. They say I'm a Jalen Brunson hater. But I have to agree with you in the sense that Cade has done the most with the least. I think his supporting cast is not as good as a lot of these other MVP candidates.
Totally agree.
Yeah.
Totally agree.
Yeah. And Luka has to be in the mix, too, because he's leading the league in scoring, and he's doing it efficiently. And the Lakers have won 8 out of their last 10, but record-wise, he doesn't stack up with the Jaylen Browns and the Cades. That's the issue with Luka. And SGA, obviously.
It's not like Jokic and Luka have lost any ground. Nobody expected Cade to be this high this year.
Well, there's people. Sorry to cut you off. There's people that think Luka has fell off.
Yeah, somebody was saying that on the show today. I completely disagree with that. Yeah. Because if you are, his defense. Stop bringing up his defense. Okay, we know Luka Dončić sucks at defense. Okay, it's probably never going to change. So that's an it is what it is scenario. He is, offensive. Dude, he might be on the Mount Rushmore in the history of the league for offensive talent.
Oh, 100%.
I mean, he's that freaking good, man. So I don't see Luka falling off at all. I think, dude, like his last 4 or 5 games have been Hall of Fame worthy, right? They've been incredible.
Unbelievable. All right.
Like, how could you say he's declining? That sounds like a really stupid take to me.
I think what happens, I don't know if you see this, but a couple people say it, and then people just start copying each other. And
don't get me started.
It's mental contagion, and then it just it gets crazier and crazier, and you're just like, what?
Here's what I would recommend to those people: turn off the TV and make up your own debates.
Yeah, 100%.
Do it yourself. You don't have to. What's First Take debating today, or what's what's Combo's Court debating today? And I mean, I know Combo's coming up with great topics and stuff, but if you're in this space and you're not completely organic, or at least mostly organic, you're going to lose. Period.
100%. Totally agree. All right, Rookie of the Year. I had Con Knipple before the season. How's that going for me, Rick? How's that going for me?
Dude, I mean, yeah, that's aging very well for you.
Thank you. Appreciate you. But who's the Rookie of the Year, Rick? Who's the Rookie of the Year?
Dude, I go back and forth on this. If you have me on next week, I may say flag. Con Knipple has made significant history. It's the greatest shooting season by a rookie in NBA history.
Yes.
So there's that. That's pretty freaking impressive. Correct me if I'm wrong, but he leads the entire NBA in threes made. Am I right about that?
Well, he has the most threes made as a rookie. I know that. I'm not sure if he has the most. We should look that up. That's interesting.
I'm gonna look that up.
While you look that up, what makes him so incredible is his movement off the ball. That guy does not stop moving. It's very Steph Curry, Clay Bird-like, the way he moves without the basketball.
Yeah, no, it definitely is, man. So let me go to threes made per game. Let me go to threes made per game. Curry is at 4.5, Luka's at 3.9, LaMelo's at 3.6, and then Con at 3.5. So I don't know if he's leading the league in total threes, but I think he might be, because Steph hasn't played at all.
LaMelo didn't play a lot.
I don't think Knipple's missed a game. He's got 67 GPs. Luka's at 55, LaMelo's at 58. So, and they're not that far ahead of him. Khan either leads the league in threes as a rookie or he's damn close.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it has to be between those two, but VJ has had some great flashes. He's going to be great. And, as we said, Dylan Harper would have been in the mix, but he's just on a team that's really good, really, really good,
Who do you, yeah, so I give it to Khan, but that like envelope is not sealed shut yet. Do you know what I'm saying? I think we still got a month to go here. And like if Flagg can take his numbers quite a bit north of Khan.
If Cooper Flagg could break 83 points, he'll get the rookie of the
Hey, but he's got to do it the right way, not this Bam on a bio. We're missing free throws. And all that
this could be a whole other debate with me and you. I know you didn't like the 83-point game.
I
know
not.
you were.
No, I was fine with 44 minutes of the 83-point game. I was fine with the first 44 minutes.
After that, no good for you?
Well, no. I mean, you're intentionally fouling to get the ball back, and you're going through all these machinations, and it's not even a record.
Well, one team was trying to make.
It's not even a record.
Well, it's a mark.
I mean, it's Kobe.
Well, okay, it's the modern day NBA record. Ooh.
Okay, you can phrase it that way. No, you can, but a lot of people in combo, this, like whether it's before 1970 or the ABA NBA merger, like a lot of people are like, that's when the NBA started. You know what I mean? It's because you see all these stats on ESPN since the merger, blah, 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 blah. What the F is that, dude? The merger, the league started in 1947. Wait, what? George Mikan never existed? Come on, is this Back to the Future where you can just be like rubbed out and made invisible like you never happened on planet Earth? It's so stupid to me.
Well, they're going to say they were plumbers. That's the thing. And the plumbers, the plumbers keep, as we go through life, the plumbers become 90s, then 2000s, then 2010s. It's like the plumbers keep pushing up generations.
They do,
30 years from now, Wemby will be playing against the plumbers,
Well, think about this. Back in the 1950s and 1960s with pro football. Mm-hmm. I mean, were those guys? They were selling insurance. They were car salesmen, right? There wasn't that much money in sports back then. These guys had to have a day job, and it did a lot of them. There were a few that like made a lot, but like Tom Heinsohn, for example. Gosh, who told this story? Oh, Dave Cowens told this story. Tommy Heinsohn passes, right? So we have Dave Cowens on NBA radio. Tommy Heinsohn never knew this. While playing for the Celtics, winning all these championships, Hall of Fame career, he was a big-time insurance salesman in Boston, like had his own company and stuff. And apparently he was a big deal with that. But you get my point? Tommy Heinsohn was one of the top players in the game in the 1960s, and homie had to start an insurance company to gig it up. Wow. I mean, it's crazy. So to... like, for people to, like, doubt and hate on an era, it's just so stupid. Like, you can hate on a lot of the decision-making that's happened over history. Hello? Okay, I'm a history major, right? Like contemporary American war history is what I studied in college. And, combo, I don't want to sound like an academic, okay? I forget almost everything I studied 30 years ago in college, but I got my degree, okay? I did my time.
Congrats.
I served my sentence, and then I got out.
Yeah. And now you're here on Combo's Court. You're doing well.
Combo's Court, baby.
All right. Coach of the Year.
This one annoys me. Is there cussing allowed here? I don't do it often, but sometimes.
You did it already. I might have to go back and censor this whole show, but go ahead, man. Do your thing, man.
Okay, well, I won't cuss. What the frick does JB Bickerstaff have to do to get a Coach of the Year? What more do you have to do? Dude, he almost won it last year. I mean, Kenny Atkinson, put that to bed in the first month of the season with that. What was it? They won their first 15 games or whatever the heck that was. Right. I mean, that ship had sailed early, but I think he was number 2 last year. At least he should have been, in my opinion. Kenny Atkinson was my Coach of the Year last. I mean, 64 wins in his first year in Cleveland. Come on, dude, that was an amazing job. But JB Bickerstaff now has his team atop the Eastern Conference. with, as you said, a team that on paper does not look like a conference leader. It just doesn't. You know, your second best player is Jalen Duren. That's going to hurt them in the playoffs, by the way. They need a wing 100%. To be their second best player, not a center to be their second best player. Joe Mazzulla is the homie. He's my favorite coach in the league. It's not even close because of how weird and strange he is. It's not the encore. It's not adjustments. It's not accomplishments. It's not wins. It's how freaking weird he is in press conferences. The guy's hilarious. I get it. And it's unintentional comedy, right? Like, I love me some Joe Mazzulla. He would probably be number 2 for me. But, dude, I got to give it to JB Bickerstaff, man. Who do you tell me you have JB? Do you have JB?
I do. That's exactly what I have. Yeah, and for most improved, I would go with Jalen Duren. It kind of goes against my point that Cade is doing the most with the least. If I'm saying he has the most improved player and the coach of the year, but you can't deny what Jalen Duren has done with the improved like bag work with the basketball in his hands. Like, he always had all the other stuff, but that's improved. The numbers improved. He was an all-star this year. I mean, he's my most improved player.
Not mad at that. Look, I mean, 17 and 11 or whatever Jalen Duren is. I mean, it's a big time stat line, especially for a big in today's game. Happy for him. Should have been an all-star. Definitely should be like on the first team of most improved or whatever. And I won't be mad if he wins the award. Jalen Johnson, to me, is the most improved player. Becoming an all-star. I mean, the guy's at 8 assists per game. He has made Atlanta completely forget about Ice Trae, who was a very, very, very big deal in Atlanta for, almost a decade. And just immediately, new Batman in town. It's Jalen Johnson. We got this. And, the winning's been a little weird for Atlanta, like it always is. But, I mean, what is Jalen? 23, 10, and 8 or something like that? Just a stupid stat line.
I always loved his game. I thought he would be all rookie team if he got more opportunity his rookie year. I said that back then. And then I remember going down to Atlanta, and he was getting a lot of G League reps at one point. I mean, people don't talk about that. And to see where he is now, it's really impressive.
Shout out to Travis Schlenk, man. They blew him out in Atlanta. He drafted Jalen Johnson. He drafted Kevin Huerter. A couple other of his good draft picks are escaping me. But now he's in Washington helping their front office. Like, I remember he came from Golden State in their front office. Like, Travis Schlenk, Jalen Johnson was like 19th or something in the draft, right? Big-time project out of Duke. Didn't play that much in his year at Duke, and Schlenk saw something. He was right, man.
6th man of the year. Who do you have?
I got to go Naz Reid, man. Like, I want to go storyline and, this guy or that guy. But I mean, just at the end of the day, man, I mean, he's probably the best reserve in the NBA. I think Naz Reid's a 2010 guy as a 100%. Starter. I mean, I think Naz Reid is ready to put up big time fantasy numbers. Maybe not all-star, but like a really freaking good player and not just like the best 6th man in the league. I love me some Naz Reid, so I'll say Naz.
Clutch player of the year.
I think I just saw on Polymarket that SGA passed Brunson, maybe, like in the metrics and the numbers and all that kind of stuff. And you know what? It's when I think of all the ball I've watched, I mean, dude, like from the first game of the year, remember SGA, 2 seconds left, hits that little midi to tie the game. I think send it to overtime, whatever that sequencing was. But like from game 1, we just saw it the other night. Was that the Denver game? I forget who they played when he hit the right wing kind of fadeaway joint. Yeah. That was the dagger that ended that thing. He's wicked in the clutch, man. SGA would get the clutch award for me. Is that a numerically based award or is that a subjective opinion based award? I can't remember how they do that one.
Well, I guess it's like the MVP. It's whatever you want it to be, right? Isn't that every award?
This will be the answer right here. Do people vote on clutch player or is it a numerical metric thing that the NBA just awards?
I believe that it's voted on. I'm not sure, but that's what I believe. And those people probably look at the numbers, right, who are voting, I'm sure.
Well, you would like them to. To assume all of them are, I think might be more of a leap of faith than I want to make.
Right. Like in the beginning of the season, Cade, I can't believe I keep going back to Cade and Jalen Brunson, but Cade's numbers were better, but I'm sure there's Knicks media, if they had a vote, they'd probably go Brunson, right? You know?
Yeah, well, especially in that market, because if you're a media guy in New York City and somehow it leaks out that you pick Cade over Brunson in any way, shape, or form, that is not going to go well for you.
That is it. So let's round this all up. We started with the Spurs. We ended with the Spurs. What does Wemby have to do to win MVP and Defensive Player of the Year this season?
Play the appropriate amount of games. You know, no more of this bull crap mind gaming with that fake made up DNP the other night against Denver. But what a bunch of resting bull crap that was, dude. Like, it's old Popovich where I hold my guys out to mind game you. I'm going to try to beat you with my backups, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to hit you with this right now, okay? Because, like, I freaking hate that mindset. Combo, it's so soft. It's so soft. You know what the opposite of soft is? The opposite of soft is hard, okay? You know what hard is? Hard is having a showdown matchup in March with a team you might meet in the playoffs, and you want to kick their fucking ass, right? To send a message like they did back in the day. I mean, those guys got up. If Boston and like Detroit played on March 28th, it was a bloodbath, dude.
Yeah.
That was like the precursor to all the beatings that would happen in the playoff series, man. And so I hate that we've gotten away. Dude, look, Greg Popovich, to me, is the GOAT of coaching, but he has ruined our game in two ways, okay? Load management. That's a Popovichian joint, man. Go ahead and smoke that, okay? And the other one is what I was just saying. What point was I just making here? I'm sorry.
I'm just here listening.
But Popovich, load management, and the mind gaming thing. Yeah. Remember when he got fined a whole bunch of money? They were playing like Miami in a big national TV game. He arrested Duncan and Matu and Parker and all these guys just in case they met in the finals. And I love Pop. I do. But those two things have been horrible for the league, and those are Pop productions.
All right, let's end it with this. Who's the current player that you believe has the best chance to break Wilt's 100-point scoring record?
Luka Dončić.
Why so?
Green light, talent. You know, he's got the ability to knock down 15 threes in a game and get to the line a whole bunch. He's already got a 70-point, I believe, near triple-double. I don't think I think it was like 73, 10, and 7 or something. It's one of the top 5 stat lines in the history of the game, and I looked that up and did a little ranking on it. That night, Luka against Atlanta, I mean, my God. So the guy's out there flirting with a triple-double going 73, okay? And by the way, we're not orchestrating anything here. That was a legit 73. I don't agree with the people who say it is only a matter of time that Wilt Chamberlain's record is met or broken. I do not agree with that. I do not think it's a matter of time. I still think it's a huge, huge, huge question. And what I would say, Combo, I don't know how much time I got left on earth, okay? I'm just happy to have each day God wants to give me. I don't believe that a guy will hit 100 while I'm breathing oxygen on earth. 70 years might it have? Who knows, dude? Zombies may be eating calf muscle 70 years from now. We just don't know where this thing is going, okay? But I'm not as sure that somebody's going to hit 100. I think you're one of those guys, right? Like, you're pretty sure that somebody's going to hit 100 at some point, right?
Yeah, I would say it's Luka or Wemby. And a lot of people around the NBA go more with
Wemby.
Yeah, go. But more people around the NBA tell me that they think it's Luka, like you do.
The guy, I mean, and here's the other thing, Combo. He doesn't play any defense. He's got all that energy saved up for the offensive end, dude.
Shots at Luka to end the pod. Rick, thanks for taking the time. Where can we find you? Let me know when you need me on your show. That was so much fun. I appreciate you.
Oh, I certainly will. Yeah, the guys have been buzzing. They want you back, and we will certainly be in touch. So the show I'm doing now is Beyond the Surface on the X-Rated Sports Network. And so please, everybody, subscribe to our YouTube channel. We'd really appreciate that. It's X-Ray TED Sports. So X-ray, Dr. X is a sports medicine radiologist, X-rays, and so that's where that comes from. X-rated Sports Network, Beyond the Surface. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Check us out Mondays and Thursdays at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. And you know what? You're going to see your boy Combo on here on a show real soon. By the way, on Thursday, Combo, we have soon-to-be Hall of Famer Mike Fratello, the czar of the telestrator, joining the broadcast for some skits and bits. That'll be this Thursday.
Awesome. He was just on NBA on NBC recently doing the little retro.
I saw that.
Yeah. Awesome.
I had a chance to talk to him about that before, and he was really excited about it.
Yeah.
When you think about basketball analysts, Fratello's easily in the top 10. Like, you think about Hubie Brown, you think about Doug Collins, right? And just some of these, Bill Walton, right? Snapper Jones, like the guys we grew up with, right?
Yeah, right.
But he's right there. He's in that mix. One of the greatest game analysts we've ever had. Still doing it, by the way. I think this year he's on a 10-game package with the Clippers. Jim Jackson is rising in this game, and Jim's absolutely fantastic. But shout out to my boy Fratello, man.
And give yourself kudos, man. I grew up. You were on one of my go-to channels growing up.
Thank you, man.
Yeah. So I really appreciate you taking the time. You're always welcome back here. And give me 1 second while this uploads. When I sign off, subscribe to Combo's Court wherever you're listening. Subscribe to Combo TV on YouTube. Rick, thanks for taking the time, and talk soon.
I'm pointing the wrong way. Yeah, you the man, Combo. Peace, man. Be good, my friend.
Yes, sir.
All right, see you.